Welcome to this episode of the Neural Dojo podcast. I'm KT, your host, and today's Binary Banter session is one where we're tackling a topic that's been buzzing louder than a server farm full of NVIDIA AI silicon, the AI revolution. It's everywhere, isn't it? From powering our search engines to generating art, it feels like AI is the answer to everything. But is it really? Or are we, dare I say, in a bit of a bubble? We've got an incredible panel here to dissect this one. You've got yours truly, KT the AI Sensei, Bella, aka Miss Across the Pond, the homie Jules, aka Straight No Chase, Mr. Radio Voice. Jim is on deck too. First up, I'm gonna pass this to you, Jules. What's your take on the whole AI bubble thing?
Thanks, KT. Glad to be here. So, not to bring sharp objects into the vicinity of that bubble, but yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the proverbial head. AI is undeniably real. It's useful, it's powerful, it's transforming industries. But, and this is a big but, a significant chunk of what we're witnessing, especially in terms of market valuation and new ventures, is fueled by a mix of cheap money, pure hype, and, well, in my opinion, a massive dose of FOMO. It's not just solid long-term value driving everything right now.
I agree, Jules. From my perspective, there's this undeniable gold rush mentality, like everyone wants a piece of the AI pie, and sometimes it feels like companies are slapping AI onto their existing products just to attract investment, without truly innovating or solving a fundamental problem. It reminds me a bit of the dot-com era, where just having .com in your name meant a huge valuation, regardless of the business model.
Okay, so in the illustrious words of our host, let's keep it a buck. Let's call a spade a spade. A lot of these startups, especially the ones burning through venture capital like it's scented candles, are built on sand. They're solving problems that don't really exist, or they're using AI for tasks that could be handled just as well and for way less money with regular old software. The valuations are, wild for companies with no clear path to profitability. For a lot of them, it's a very shiny, very overhyped house of cards.
All right, Jim. I appreciate the shout out on keeping it a buck.
So if we accept this truth, that there's a mix of genuine innovation and a lot of hot air, then let's pivot to the actual tension here. What happens if this bubble, or even just a big chunk of it, does pop? What are the real-world consequences for jobs, for all these startups that have hitched their wagon to this star, for research, for the very tools we're all being told to build our workflows on?
That's the question keeping a lot of very expensive boardrooms up at night, isn't it? Given the market caps we're throwing around, it's not small change. The immediate impact, I think, would be a massive correction in funding. Venture capital firms would, tighten their belts dramatically. Projects that were cool but didn't have a clear, sustainable business model would just cease to exist. That means a lot of talented engineers, researchers, and product managers suddenly out of a job, or at least looking for new roles outside of the pure AI space.
And the knock-on effect for related industries would be significant, I suppose. Think of all the cloud computing providers who've seen massive growth off the back of AI workloads, and the hardware manufacturers as well. If the AI funding slows, demand for those services and products could plateau or even dip. It's a whole ecosystem that's sprung up around this boom, and, well, I do worry a bit about what happens when it suddenly stops moving.
And let's not forget the regular professionals, the founders who bought into the whole AI only goes up narrative, like tech's version of housing always goes up circa 2007 or earlier. Some of them have pivoted their entire business or built their whole career trajectory around these tools and this perceived demand. If the bottom falls out, what then? Are they left scrambling? Are their skills suddenly less valuable because the AI tools they mastered aren't sustainable anymore?
Yeah, that's a terrifying prospect for many, myself included. As someone who has leaned into AI for both my personal brand as the AI Sensei and added quite a bit to my digital agency offering like AI voice agents and AI chatbots. I mean, we've seen countless articles, workshops, entire conferences dedicated to AIifying your business, your career. So what you're saying is if the funding dries up, the perceived necessity or even the viability of some of these AI first approaches could just evaporate overnight? Now for me, I still have a broad skill set across many disciplines and verticals, but still, I guess that's why they tell you to rock with multiple streams, with the whole all your eggs in one basket motif.
Yep. And it's not just the direct employees of AI startups. Think about all the companies that have integrated these new AI tools without fully understanding their long-term value proposition or even their underlying costs. those tools become less viable or the companies providing them disappear, then you've got businesses left with a gap in their workflow or an expensive, now obsolete integration. It creates a ripple effect throughout the entire tech landscape and beyond.
It also raises questions about data. Many of these AI models are trained on vast amounts of data. If the companies developing them go under, what happens to that data? What about the ethical considerations of models that might not be maintained or updated? There are so many layers to this beyond just financial investment.
And what about the research? A lot of groundbreaking AI research is funded by these big tech companies or VCs. If they're suddenly, say, conservative with their cash, that could severely slow down innovation in areas that are genuinely useful. We could see a period of stagnation after this initial burst, which would be a shame for the true believers.
Okay, so we've painted a rather bleak picture of the cautionary side of this, but we're not here just to get people shook. We're here to empower them too. So, how can individuals, businesses, and even researchers build an anti fragile relationship with AI? How do we position ourselves so that whether the bubble bursts or not, we're still benefiting instead of scrambling to pick up the pieces?
That's the crucial pivot, KT. The core idea of anti-fragility is to not just withstand shocks, but to actually benefit from them. For AI, this means shifting focus from how can I use the hottest new AI tool right now to how can I develop skills and strategies that are valuable whether AI is booming or busting.
Right, and for professionals, it's about understanding the fundamentals. Don't just learn how to prompt ChatGPT. Learn about prompt engineering, yes, but also learn about the underlying principles of problem solving, critical thinking, and communication. These are the skills that AI can augment, but it can't replace them. If a specific AI tool becomes obsolete, your foundational skills will allow you to adapt to the next one.
For founders, I think that means building a business that solves a real problem first.
Yeah.
Don't start with how can I slap AI on something. Start with what problem needs solving. And then see if AI is the most efficient, effective, and sustainable way to solve it. Katie, I know you do this for the companies you work with on AI implementations, and even at the audit or assessment level. Your business model should stand on its own 2 feet, with or without the AI flavor of the month. If AI enhances it, great. If not, don't force it.
Definitely. Indeed, I do, good sir. And when it comes to tools, I teach them how to choose tools that solve genuinely difficult, repetitive, or scalable problems. Don't just adopt an AI tool because everyone else is. Evaluate it based on its actual utility, its long term cost effectiveness, and the robustness of the company behind it. Think about the why before the how. Is this tool actually saving me time, money, or creating new value in a way that cannot be done easily otherwise? Or is it just a fancy wrapper around an existing process?
So it's about discerning between genuine utility and what looks like a shiny new toy. I guess that goes for both individual professionals and entire companies, right? Not getting swept away by the marketing jargon.
Oh, for sure, Jules. And it's also about diversification. As Katie alluded to earlier, don't put all your eggs in one AI basket. If you're a content creator, for instance, don't only rely on AI generators. Hone your own writing skills, your research, your unique voice. Use AI to assist, to brainstorm, to check grammar, but don't let it become the sole engine of your creativity or productivity.
Exactly. Think of AI as a power tool, not the entire workshop. You still need the carpentry skills. You still need to understand the material. If the power tool breaks, you should still be able to build something with your hands even if it takes longer. The underlying craftsmanship, the human element, the unique perspective, that's what becomes even more valuable when the automated stuff hits a snag.
Yeah, I often teach people to focus on AI literacy rather than just like AI proficiency. Literacy means understanding the capabilities and limitations of AI, knowing how to ethically deploy it, how to evaluate its outputs critically, and understanding the data it relies on. Proficiency is just knowing the buttons. Literacy builds an anti fragile mindset. This reminds me of a Facebook chat I contributed to about how you can solve for hallucinations in a given model with your prompting methodology and siloing chats into projects.
That's a fantastic distinction, KT. AI literacy. So, what are some practical steps people can take starting today to build this anti-fragile relationship? Beyond just general skill building, are there specific areas you'd recommend focusing on?
Definitely. First, critical thinking and prompt engineering are huge. Understanding how to structure queries to get the most out of an AI, but also knowing when an AI's output is hallucinating or biased, and again, how to solve for that. Don't just accept what it says, verify it. Second, focus on domain expertise. I'm of the opinion that no AI can match deep human expertise in a specific field. Your unique insights within your industry are irreplaceable. Third, I'd say always embrace continuous learning, not just about AI, but about your core profession. The pace of change is rapid, and adaptability is key. None of us want to go the way of Blockbuster, of that I am certain.
All great points, and if I may, KT, I'd add creativity and empathy to that list.
Yep.
AI can generate text or images, but it struggles with genuine emotional resonance,
Indeed.
innovative problem framing, or truly understanding human nuances. These, let's call them soft skills, become the hard skills of the future, as they're harder to automate. Investing in developing your emotional intelligence, your collaborative abilities, and your capacity for original thought will serve you well. Bubble or no bubble.
Certainly. I'd also add that for founders, look at your unit economics, i.e., can your product or service generate revenue and be profitable without absurd levels of venture funding? Is your customer acquisition cost sustainable? Are you solving a pain point people will genuinely pay for? These fundamental business principles don't change, even with the fanciest AI tech. Prioritize those, and you'll be a bit more robust as a whole.
Fantastic advice from everyone. It really just boils down to having a solid foundation, both in terms of personal skills and business strategy, and using AI as an enhancer, not as a crutch or the entire strategy. It's about being smart, being discerning, and understanding that while AI is incredibly powerful, it's also part of a larger, often cyclical economic landscape.
Exactly, Jules. The AI only going up mentality is dangerous. Smart professionals and founders understand that markets fluctuate. By focusing on fundamental value, real problems, and evergreen skills, you build a resilient foundation. So, whether the AI market corrects, plateaus, or continues its meteoric rise, you're positioned to benefit instead of scrambling.
Guys, how empowering is that? I think it's important to hold space around that and what it means at its core for each of us. For me, it means taking control, rather than being a passive recipient of whatever the tech giants or venture capitalists decide is the next big thing. It's about conscious choice and strategic adaptation.
Big facts, Jim. The truth is, AI is real, it's not going anywhere. But the hype cycle, that's always going to be temporary. Focus on the real, on the useful, and you'll always be ahead of the curve. And when you're not, you'll definitely be prepared to pivot, or at the very least, course correct efficiently.
For sure, couldn't have said it better myself. That's a powerful and really practical takeaway for all of us trying to navigate this exciting, sometimes dizzying world of artificial intelligence. A huge thank you to KT, Bella, and to Jim for shedding so much light on this vital topic. And to all of you listening, remember, and I mean this, build an anti-fragile relationship with AI. You'll thank yourselves for it no matter what the future holds. Do all the algo-friendly things on this episode before you go. We'll catch you next time.